second azan.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salam. Hayya ala salam. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
अशहदु अल्ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह वहदहु ला शरीका लहु व अशहदु अन्ना मुहम्मदन अब्दुहु व रसूल। आऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। Please turn the light on. Thank you. Today we are going to look at the concept of patience in Islam. And I want to start with some verses of Surat Baqarah. This is verses 43 to 45. وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ وَارْكَعُوا مَعَ الراكعين. أَتَأْمُرُونَ النَّاسَ بِالْبِرِّ وَتَنْسَوْنَ أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَنْتُمْ تَتْلُونَ الْكِتَابَ أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ وَإِنَّهَا لَكَبِيرَةٌ إلا على الخاشعين. As I said, this is chapter 2, Al-Baqarah of the Holy Quran, and the verses I have recited are verses 43 to 45. And their English translation is, and keep up prayer, and pay the poor rate, and bow down with those who bow down. Do you enjoin men to be good and neglect your own souls while you read the book? Have you then no sense? And seek assistance through patience and through prayer. And this is hard except for the humble ones. These verses start with an instruction. Keep up prayer. But you find in the Holy Quran that wherever it talks about prayer or seeking assistance from Allah, it also talks about doing something for humanity. So here it says, wa aqimus salah, and pray. But what's essential with that? Wa atuz zakah, but also give the poor rate, pay the poor rate, help the needy. But then it goes on, and the next verse says, do you enjoin men to be good and neglect your own souls while you read the book? This is directed at those people who claim that they are leaders. So the Holy Quran is saying to them that you tell others to be good. Well, what about yourself? You read the book here stands for the Holy Quran. You read the book and you tell people, live according to the book, to perform salat, to give zakat. But what about you? What do you do? So while you enjoin others to do good things, to do the right things, you don't do anything that will benefit your own soul. But interestingly, what will benefit you? It's not just prayer. It's not just belief in Allah. In addition to that, together with it, unless you have concern for humanity, then your prayers in themselves don't have much meaning. But then, when it comes to seeking assistance, how should we do it? وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ, and seek assistance through patience and prayer. And this is hard except for the humble ones. And we need to seek assistance in everything. In our daily lives, we need to seek assistance from God. In acceptance of our prayers, in giving us an understanding of the Holy Quran. Whatever you might mention, you will find that you need assistance. But here, the Quran says, how should you seek assistance? With patience and with prayer. Patience comes first. Sabr comes first. Bis-sabri was-salah. Why? Because patience is something that is very hard to do. Whether it is in our own lives that we are trying to achieve something, whether it is some problem that we are facing and we want a solution to that problem, whether it is something else, whether we've ask God for some help. Whether we are asking God to show us the right path. We want it done quickly. We are always in a hurry. It's the if you look at the verse of the Holy Quran about Hazrat Maryam giving birth to Jesus, the angel comes and tells her, "You're going to have a son." And then she has a son. And people think it happened immediately. The angel came, said, "You'll have a son," and she had a son. Why? This impatience is a part of human nature. And we, all of us, suffer from this, particularly where prophecies are concerned. The Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when God told him something, he wanted that prophecy to be fulfilled there and then. Why? Because he was calling people to God. Because he was calling people to God's religion. He was calling humanity to God's religion. And he wanted that prophecy to be fulfilled as quickly as possible so that people could see and be moved and come to the path of Allah. But what we forget is that for God, time is meaningless. You see, we find, for example, in Bible, it says that, God created the heaven and earth in 6 days. And on the 7th that he rested. Now, the difficulty is that God is above and beyond time. He is above and beyond time. So if he says something will happen, and it happens 1400 years later, to God it is what the Holy Quran says, be and it is. To humans, it seems like it took 1500 years for this prophecy to come through. Well, there's the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his prophecy. He pointed to one companion and said, "I see the bracelets of some king, I think emperor of Iran, in his hands." And Kasra, the emperor of Byzantine and Iran, both of them. And of course it didn't happen at the Holy Prophet Muhammad's time. When Muslims conquered Iran and Muslims conquered Byzantine, or most of it, then when the treasures arrived, Hazrat Umar remembered that prophecy. And he took the bracelets and he put them in that man's arm, and because he wanted physically, he wanted that prophecy to come true. But it took a long period of time. The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away, Hazrat Abu Bakr passed away, and it was halfway through Hazrat Umar's reign that this happened. And if we don't show patience, what is the result? And the result actually is mentioned in the previous verse. And that is, you neglect your own souls. It is this haste that leads us to do wrong things. In some country, you make an application for something, and it goes in the queue, but you want it decided there and then. So what do? You go to someone and you say to them, here is, I don't know how much, 1,000 rupees or riyals or dinars or whatever. Just move the file forward. What is making you do that? Lack of sabr, lack of patience. That thing is going to happen anyway. It's going to happen anyway. You might say, well, I'm not giving a bribe to usurp someone's right. My case is justified. Is it really true that you're not giving that bribe to usurp someone's right? What about the rights of all those people whose files were in front of you, whose applications should have been considered first, whose cases should have come to court first? By being impatient, and impatience leading you to bribery, haven't you usurped the rights of all those people? All those people who were in front of you. You've jumped the queue. And that applies to everything. You see, that then develops your national character. Someone came here from an Islamic country, and we were at the underground, and it was the rush hour, and the underground came. And everyone who wanted to get on just stood there, waiting for people to get off. This person wanted to get on. So I grabbed him by the arm. So he understood what I meant. And he waited. But the country he came from, because people are impatient, there is no sabr. What do? A bus or a train comes, they don't let people off, they start trying to get in. How are you going to get into a full bus unless people disembark and create space for you? But this is an indication of what happens. And people say, well, it's just a small thing, it doesn't matter. But big things are made from small things. Small things show your character. And if you're going to push people aside, shove them aside, stop them from getting off this bus or train or whatever because you want to get on, will you not do that in other spheres of your life? Will you not, for example, when exam results are going to be announced, would you not find who has those examination papers and go to them and say to them, please add another 10 marks to my son's paper? That used to happen. My father was an examiner, and he used to have, his life was hell when it was time for him to mark papers. One time he got so fed up that he took leave and he went to another town 275 miles away, so that if anyone came, he could say, well, very sorry, I marked the papers, I wrapped them up, they've gone off back to the examination board. But the following day there was a knock on the door, and he opened the door and there was someone standing there. My son's done the. They managed to trace him 300 miles away and found the house. So when you say, does it matter that I push my way onto the bus? Isn't this the same thing? You're trying to push your son forward. You're impatient. You can't be bothered to make sure that your son does the homework, does the revision for the exam. And if in an honest way he can gain whatever the number of marks are required for an entrance into some institution or a job or whatever, he gets them that way. You want to push him ahead. The greatest, you see that the Quran has many stories, and we just read them and we take no notice. But is this a book of myths and stories for us to read and enjoy? Or do those stories have any meaning in them? Why does the Quran in chapter 23, is it? Let me see if I made a note. I think chapter 38 tells the story of Job, Hazrat Ayub. Why does it tell that story? What is the point? The Quran tells that story to show if you're patient, if you have faith in God, that is what makes you patient. If you don't have faith in God, then you want to use all these illegal and illegitimate means to achieve your end. Hazrat Ayub had everything. He was a rich man. He had horses, he had money, he had many wives. Poor man, I sympathize with him. And then God said to, Satan said to God, you made this creation. Is there anyone in that creation who has complete faith in you? And God said, yes. Look at Job. Look at Ayub, Hazrat Ayub alayhi salam. His name is in Arabic. And Satan said, why shouldn't he be patient? Why shouldn't he have faith? Why shouldn't he glorify you? You've given him everything. And God said, okay, I give you authority over Ayub's faith, Hazrat Ayub's faith. So Hazrat Ayub lost his wealth. And God said to Satan, look, he still has faith in me. He is still patient. He still glorifies me. He still obeys me. And Satan said, why shouldn't he? He still has this. And then Hazrat Ayub lost that. It got to the point where Hazrat Ayub even lost his health. And one day, when he was in excruciating pain, his wife said to him, why do you not complain to God? Why do you not pray to God to relieve you of this pain, to cure you? And Hazrat Ayub said to his wife, woman, why don't you leave me? Woman, why don't you leave me? And his wife said, because I love you. Whatever the circumstances and situation, however poor we are, whether we have food to eat or not, however hard it is to look after you, I love you and I'll stay with you. And Hazrat Ayub gave what a wonderful reply. And he said, woman, should I love my God less than you love your husband? Should I love my God less than the way you love your husband? And Satan then went to God and said, yes, indeed, there is one man, whatever befalls him, whatever befalls him, he did not complain. Loss of money, loss of power, poverty, health. It became so that people would not go near Hazrat Ayyub. And he still did not complain. He said, whatever befalls me from my Lord, I will accept it happily. That is what makes you patient, your faith in God. If you are impatient, that means you don't have faith in God. You don't believe in Him. You somehow want to use whatever you possess, whatever earthly means you have. You want to use them to attain whatever it is that you want or whatever it is that you are praying for. This is why God says, seek assistance. How? First show patience and then pray. First show patience and then pray. What is the cause of corruption? What is the cause of corruption? It's lack of faith in God. My neighbor has a color television, I want two. How are you going to get them? I don't care. I want them too, and I want them now, or I want them by the end of the week. So how will you manage that if you don't have the means? If you haven't saved up, what will you do? You'll resort to illegal means. So it's very, very important that we have faith in Allah, and we show that faith by displaying complete patience about whatever may befall us. But that does not mean to say, someone wrote to me and said, basically religion is the opium of the people, and to keep people down, the religious leaders, they say be patient and have faith and so on and so forth. Faith does not mean that you do not struggle. Faith does not mean that you do not try. Hazrat Masih Maud put it wonderfully. He said people think praying is sitting on a prayer mat going, oh God, give me this, oh God, give me that. He said no. Your struggle to achieve something is a part of your prayer. If you just stay on the prayer mat, if I sat on that prayer mat for a week, praying Allah, give me food, give me food, give me food, you think it will miraculously arrive without me getting up, going out, doing the shopping, bringing it home, cooking something? And that was what Hazrat Masih Maud was saying. That your prayer is completed when you combine your struggles with it. If you don't struggle, then nothing is going to fall down from heavens, whether it is food or whether it is anything else. But do it with patience. Patience is what shows your faith in God. If you don't have patience, then you don't have faith in Allah. Look at how long it took the Holy Prophet Muhammad to achieve success. 20 years. For how long was he persecuted at Medina? But with patience he persevered until he was successful. Barakallahu lana wa lakum fil Qur'anil Azim wa naf'ana wa iyyakum bil ayati wa zikril hakim innahu ta'ala jawadun kareemun malikun barrufur rahim. I just wanted to make an announcement. You will remember that to save us having to edit our broadcasts, we had started broadcasting with the second azan Many friends suggested that it's better if we say the second azan at 1 o'clock and then immediately start broadcasting. Otherwise, it is a bit uncertain. Sometimes it's 1:05, sometimes it's 1:07, sometimes it's 1:09, which makes it difficult for people in offices and so on. So from next week, what we're going, well, we started it this week actually. We will say the second azan at 1 o'clock exactly, and then go into the khutbah, and of course prayers after that. And we will today, because we are still on winter time, combine Asr prayer with our Juba prayers as well. And I request you to pray for everyone in your prayers. Remember the sick, the needy and so on. There have been cyclones and devastation in many countries. People in New Zealand, of course, are still suffering. I mean, something is news one day and it's history the next. But just think of the wives and the mothers and the brothers and the sisters who lost their loved ones. They're not going to forget them in 1 week or 1 month. It will take time. So please continue to pray for them. And the members that I mentioned who are sick, a sister in India, a sister in San Francisco in California, they have all asked for special prayers. And of course, our brother in Clacton, he sent a message. He was going to have an operation, I forget what it's called. Angioplasty. He was going to have angioplasty, but he went in and they said, no, we're not going to do angioplasty. A bypass may be required. So he emailed me to say that angioplasty was postponed, so God didn't hear our prayers. And I thought, well, maybe God did hear our prayers because he didn't have to undergo angioplasty. So it depends on your point of view and how you see things. So pray for him as well. And in general for everyone who might be sick or have some other problem. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayhi wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlilhu fala hadiya lahu wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma ansur man nasara dina Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam waj'alna minhum. Waqzul man khazala deena Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa la taj'alna minhum. Ibadallah rahmakumullah, inna Allaha ya'muru bil adli wal ihsani wa ita'i zil qurba wa yanha 'anil fahsha'i wal munkari wal baghi ya'izukum la'allakum tadhakkarun. Uzkurullaha yazkurkum wad'uhu yastajib lakum wa la zikrullahi akbar wallahu ya'lamu ma tasna'un. I forgot to mention that thank you for everyone who sent messages saying that there was no audio on Facebook last week. My apologies for that. What happened was that as I put the this gadget in my pocket, I accidentally touched the mute button, and it went on mute. Today we were checking to see what the cause might be, and I noticed that. So I hope today everyone has been able to hear the khutbah and so on. But please, it's very useful if things happen do message us, otherwise we can't know. Thank you.
पाकिस्तान जाएगी तो मैं कल आई नहीं, मुझे बुखार था।
Straight lines, Iqama please.
अल्लाह अकबर अल्लाह अकबर अशहदु अन ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह अशहदु अन्ना मुहम्मदर रसूलुल्लाह हय्य अल फलाह हय्य अल फलाह कद कामतिस सलात अल्लाह अकबर ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह
Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim. Ghairil maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Wal asr innal insana lafi khusr illa allazina amanu wa amilu salihati wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. Allahu Akbar. Sami Allahu liman hamida. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim. Ghairil maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Qul a'udzu birabbin nas, malikin nas, ilahin nas, min syarril waswasil khannas, alladzi yuwaswisu fi sudurin nas, minal jinnati wan nas. Allahu Akbar. Sami Allahu liman hamida. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahumma salli wa sallim. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Astaghfirullah. We are
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salah, hayya ala falah, qad qamatis salat, qad qamatis salat. Allahu Akbar, la ilaha illallah.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Sami Allahu liman hamida. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Sami Allahu liman hamida. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر إياك نعبد اهدنا الصراط غير المغضوب عليهم الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله استغفر الله استغفر الله من كل This is the conclusion of our Friday service. I pray that until we meet again next Friday, Allah keeps all of you safe and sound and free from harm, whoever you are and wherever you are. Assalamu alaikum, Khuda Hafiz, goodbye.